my main goal personally is just to be able to run 3, 4, 5 miles easily without it taking away from anything I do. That doesn't mean that right now I'm going to just be trying to run 5 miles every single day. But that means that slowly I'm just going to build up to that capacity. So kind of what's happening is, like yesterday, I just took a nice 3-mile run. Today, after podcasting, I'll probably do another 3 miles. But that's because at this point, that doesn't feel that fatiguing. And I keep myself, I think my pace yesterday was 10 minutes per mile. I was running in the sandals, but I felt super chill, right? So none of that is taking away from what I'm doing in the gym. None of that is taking away from jujitsu because I was able to do jujitsu and lifting on the same day yesterday.
We sound so ridiculous. Like, you're like, I was out for a 3-mile run, and were you carrying a 20-pound mace with a 50-pound weight vest?
Yeah. I had the 20-pound weight vest on.
And you had the mouth tape on and the nose pin.
I had the nose pin on one nostril, so I was only breathing through one nostril.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't want to add that in because that's
oh, yeah, it sounds crazy.
But, but since you mentioned it, that's a joke, guys.
We have to establish that it's a joke.
I think it's just cool, like with the progress that we've made. It's really neat that we're able to add more and more into our life, because when you first added jujitsu in, I'm sure there were probably times where you're like, man, I might even need to like choose between like lifting and jujitsu. Like, yes. This hurts.
Absolutely. There were like, when I started jujitsu, my goal was 3 to 4 times a week, but I quickly learned that my body couldn't handle it 3 to 4 times a week. Twice was where I was, and then the other days were lifting, and then I slowly built up to being able to do it 4 or 5 days a week along with lifting. But I want to mention back to the running thing. I think a lot of people are starting to realize that just because you run doesn't mean that you're going to sacrifice muscle. Right. I think some within muscle building and the lifting community, the old adage was that, runners, marathon runners look like this and sprinters look like this.
Right.
I have said that shit before. Right. But the thing is it's at what level are you doing it? Are you the guy who's training and trying to train for the marathon, trying to train for the 26.2, putting in crazy mileage per week?
If you're training for a marathon and you're taking it seriously, you most likely will lose some muscle.
You will downsize.
Yeah. That's far.
But if you're the casual like me, you're the casual runner who just wants the capacity, who wants to be able to run with good form and feel good running. I haven't dropped weight. I haven't dropped muscle, but I've only improved at my ability to move with running.
Yeah.
So if you're a lifter and you're not trying to sacrifice muscle, all this will do is increase your heart health and your capacity. If you do it slowly and you don't try to beat PRs and you just let yourself get better at it, you won't lose muscle. You won't end up in that.
And I think also if you're running, like 5Ks, like, running about 3 miles, like you're going to be totally fine. If you can build up to being able to run 20 minutes straight, 30 minutes straight, that is plenty of time to get a lot of the benefits of running without negative side effects. The negative side effects that you want to just be cautious of are things to your feet and your ankles, and that's why we do so much with our feet. We're sitting here, standing on this Nabosu ball and just trying to get some myofascial release in certain parts of the feet.
Yeah.
We also sometimes will run in our sandals to help build up the ankles and the Achilles and the Nsima sandals.
And guys, I'm always a guy who's spilling the beans, but I'm just letting y'all know
Don't tell him.
Okay.
Don't tell him because
I won't tell him. I'm happy you did that.
Malfunction.
I made sure to speak slowly because I'm like, if Andrew or Mark wants to cut me off, I'll let them cut me off. Which you did.
I thought it was going to be like a cliffhanger, not go all the way off the cliff.
No, he always goes all the way in.
You want to bleep me on this? I'm going to say it, but bleep me.
No, I don't want to bleep you.
Oh, damn it.
I don't want to add
for
more.
A good edit.
No, exactly. It's more work.
Anyway, guys, well, just so you guys know, the Warrior sandal from Nsima is the sandal that we currently wear for our runs and stuff. They have a lot of great sandals there. Some cool shit's coming. So
shut up. Building up those toes and building up the feet can help a lot. So that's why we sometimes do that. That's why sometimes we'll run in the Vivo barefoots, and we'll utilize different things at different times. Sometimes I don't want all that impact, and if I'm going to run a little further, I have a pair of Nike shoes that have these like springs in them, basically. The carbon, you can look up super shoes. There's all kinds of super shoes out there. And sometimes I'll use that. And yeah, it kind of does squish my toes, and I'm getting a little compromise in that area. But I'm getting a complement of the shoe helping to propel me forward. But some people end up with back shit, and people end up with hip things, and we've gone over a lot of this stuff previously, but you just really have to take care of yourself.
Power Project family, how's it going? Now, we talk about sleep all the time on the podcast because it's one of the biggest things that helps you with your health and fitness, your recovery, your muscle gain, your fat loss, everything. That's why I've partnered with 8 Sleep for such a long time now, because the technology behind the mattress allows you to track your heart rate, the amount of times it takes you to fall asleep, your tosses and turns, your heart rate variability. It changes its temperature through the night based off how you sleep, but not only yourself, but maybe your partner on the other side of the bed. It is an amazing mattress. Andrew, how can they learn more?
Yes, head over to 8sleep.com/power project. That's 8 spelled out, EIGHT, sleep.com/power project. Along with more information, you guys will actually save $150 off of your entire order automatically. Links to them down in the description as well as the podcast show notes.
Really, really well. So when you're the next day or whenever you can get to it, try some myofascial release. If you have any access, well, everyone has access to a shower, use some hot and cold contrast therapy. That has been really effective. If you can afford to go a little further and you want to run, then you might want to get Normatec boots. Those are the boots that blow up with air. That shit helps a lot. If that's not affordable, you can lay down on the ground, put your feet up on your couch or a wall, and just get your feet up over your head. That kind of stuff. I mean, you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked at how inflamed your legs can get from a run, but how decompressed they can look a little while later just by doing something like putting your feet up, trying to get your feet up over your heart.
And I cannot overestimate how important what Mark said is in terms of taking care of yourself. We are doing number one. See, this stupid shit. I got to stop that, man. We have these
Keeps you organized. I don't mind.
Yeah, we have the Naboso pads under us.
He'd be a great teacher.
Thank you. The Natty Professor.
The Natty Professor.
He's already
Today, kids, we're going to talk about trenbolone
and why you should inject from a young age. Now, the Naboso pads have this sensory stuff underneath our feet. So our feet are always stimulated, but we're also beating our feet up with the Nero ball from Naboso too. And then also, I would say if you guys can, get yourself, whether it's Kelly Starrett's Supernova or some type of hard ball. I know you've been using a med ball in the gym and rolling around that, but we do myofascial release on our calves, on our shins, quads, glutes, hamstrings, everywhere, almost every single day.
See if you can bring that ball up, Andrew. It's just on Amazon. It's just like a 10-pound med ball, but it's hard.
I wish you had. Did you have a video up showing what you do on it or no?
I don't think. But yeah, I was doing like a little jujitsu-y stuff on there yesterday and like rolling and stretching. And there it is.
And one thing to think about, though,
that works so good. I know that you're probably looking at it thinking like it wouldn't work good because of the surface area is big, but for some reason it works great.
It really kills my hips in a good way. It works really, really well.
Be a little cautious on the back when you use this product because you have to like flex your stomach and it can be a little bit weird there, but it works amazing on just about everything else.
Shit, it's on sale right now.
And I want to ask you this real quick, Mark. With that ball or with any of this stuff, are there certain parts of your body that when you roll on it are still really painful? Like there's certain parts of your body that now when you roll on it aren't painful at all, right?
Absolutely. There's spots, and actually it's kind of annoying because I'm trying to, my brain is like, this is the area that hurts. And then I'm like pushing on it and there's nothing there. And I kind of like the release that I would get before. And I'm like, how come there's nothing here? God damn it.
That makes sense.
But then you go upstream, downstream, and you still usually find something. Certain areas are tough to get inflammation out of, and it's probably due to like movement patterns. I got a little something in the hammy that's been bothering me for a while. And it's it's weird because it's on the outside of the hamstring. And the only way for me to get into it is it has to be like a very specific like angle to get in there. But the myofascial release stuff is incredible. And one of the ways some of this stuff was explained to me was if you were to take like a rubber band and you're to stretch a rubber band, you stretch it back and forth, stretch it many different ways. Rubber band moves real nicely. Well, that's the way that our muscles move. That's the way there's an eccentric and concentric. They shrink and they expand. They shrink and they expand. And they move really fluidly. But what I believe is true is that when we go to do a stretch, but we have adhesions, tightness, pain, some of these things, it would be as if you took that same band and you went to stretch it, but you tied a knot in it first. And so if you can picture when you go to stretch the band, that knot just keeps moving around, but it never disappears.
Yeah.
The myofascial release is the disappearing of that knotted up part of the band.
Power Project family, we appreciate you checking out this clip. Check out another one. Just go check out another one. Or comment down below and let us know what you liked about this one. But we love you guys, and we're going to keep bringing you the heat. So comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, okay? Peace.